Well, let me go back to the additional $64 million for housing of convicted felons, and let's go back to kind of maybe one of my first questions were, what's driving that in terms of population increased cost to locals, et cetera? Just, I've watched what's happened this year with our numbers. I'm still trying to understand root cause, what's going on beneath that.
Yes, sir. So we've been doing the same thing, and we know it really factors on three points: our admissions, our releases, and actually the cost in terms of what we're paying. We did increase the cost this year to $37. We have some counties.
Let me stop you. When we increased that, though, we put that in the budget, right? And so would we put that? Does that all come through corrections budget, including what we send out to the locals?
For local jails?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Like I said, three. The fourth one is available beds within TDOC in terms of what we have. If you look at what's happening with admissions, sir, in FY10 releases were 6,691 per year, but in FY11 releases fell to 5,500. That's a difference of about 1,140. Over the same period, admissions jumped from 10,425 to 11,286, and increased to 861. You look at what's driving those in the community. It could be a host of things, and we're looking at additional beds that were built in the counties. Beds were brought online. We have no control over that. If the beds come online, they fill them. We have to pay for those. We look at what we're doing with our releases. Our releases are going down. We start to see length of sentences being longer in terms of being ready. Part of our seamless supervision strategy is that we want to look at folks that are eligible for parole, and that we're on the one supervision that they meet that eligibility if they do everything from the very first time they go before the parole board. We want to do a front-end loading, use a validated risk assessment. They come into the system, go through a diagnostic process, and from that they're told these are the things you need to do to become eligible for parole. We don't want to give them 4 years down the line, you meet your parole board, they will go back and take this class. We want to do it on the front end. We want to know everything that's available and get them ready, because if we take those numbers there and push them to the end and say, hey, we have 1,000 of those, that's 1,000 beds that we have to start over again, that folks don't come in. So there are things that we can do internally with us and the parole board to make a difference in terms of what's happening. By all means, we want to make sure that the ones that should stay locked up are staying locked up, and that we're not rushing to push people out the door. Mm-hmm. But if we can internally readjust how we supervise those offenders and how we program those offenders, it makes a difference in the releases at the end. So if we start to see some differences there, then if we start to look at what we can do on the front end, that we build that confidence back in our community supervision strategies, we create alternatives and focus on things like drug courts, focus on day reporting centers, focusing on things like short-term probation and detention centers that we can have for the judges, the judiciary to utilize, that they don't send these folks back. But a key, again, is that building that confidence with what we do with our probation officers and probation and parole officers in that community. Because when it comes to influence and admissions, that's where it counts for us, as a state, to be able to do something different.